What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel, and we are back for another Monster Mania review. Now, it is officially Friday the 13th, the day of this being released, and you know what that means. There was no way that I was going to pass up the opportunity to talk about a Friday the 13th movie. Now, there was a plethora of movies I could have picked from. For this franchise, there are a total of 12. That doesn't mean that there are 12 great movies, by far. Even the one that I picked today is not a great movie by any means whatsoever. So I had to pick part 3 because this was the birth of the iconic hockey mask. And as a kid, I didn't know that. These movies came out in the 70s. I was born in 85. So growing up, the hockey mask was already established as a horror icon. And when you were talking about part 3, there is one character in this movie that has to be discussed that I think is probably one of the dumbest characters in the movie, and that is Shelly. And we will be talking about Shelly here momentarily once I get into that. Honestly, like I already said, I know going into watching these movies that these are not the greatest movies out there. Most of these are pretty bad, but that's why I like them, because I laugh at them. They're horror movies with the unintentional comedy thrown into it, and that's what I love about them so much. So like I said earlier, this is going to be full of spoilers. If you have never seen Friday the 13th and you at least want to watch this review and not be spoiled, what I recommend, watch part 1, skip part 2, because the very beginning of this movie is essentially the last 5 to 8 minutes of part 2. So you'll know exactly what happened in part 2, you'll be caught up, and then you can roll right into part 3. And like I said, you're in for a doozy because this one's pretty hilarious. So the main character of the movie is Chris. She's the one that's coming home to this family homestead to visit because she's been gone for a while. And we come to find out that she actually had a run-in with Jason years ago, been traumatized about it ever since. And I would be too if I saw that disgusting face in the middle of the woods at night.
Holy Jesus. What the fuck is that?
You also have Rick, who is Chris's love interest in the movie, Debbie, Andy, you have the stoner couple, I don't even remember their names, the other female, Vera. Then you have Shelly, who is one of the best characters in this movie. You also have a couple other side characters like the store clerk owner and his wife. You have the incredibly annoying and really out of place biker gang that shows up, and I think that's just to kind of bring up the kill count because they're really unnecessary. But Shelly, I think, is the best character, the most annoying of all of them. You kind of can't wait until the guy dies, but that's pretty much all these movies. We're hoping they all get killed in a very great way, and Shelly does. But the only thing I don't like is that that's the kill that we don't see happen. Shelly, of all of them, is the one that happens off screen. And I think the reason for that is because Shelly is the one that introduces the mask to the franchise, and he used that mask to scare Vera while she was sitting on the dock. So he leaves with the mask, and when someone else comes back with the mask, she looks at the dock and assumes it's Shelly wearing the mask when it's not, and that's where Jason shoots the iconic spear gun into her face. Which actually, that's a pretty good kill. But I guess now that I mentioned that, we can already jump into the kills. The kills were pretty good. They're all right. They weren't the best thing in the world, but they also weren't the worst. The practical effects in this movie, I love them. As bad as they are, I really do love them. And they come into play on all the kills, and at least that's what I like about the movie. The very first one that we see is that store clerk owner, and if you pay attention when you're watching him walk around, he has a vest underneath the shirt. It's clear as day, and it's very bulky. It's so funny that they try to attempt to hide that in the dialogue because the wife is complaining about him eating and saying, hey, you gotta watch your weight, and he's clearly not a fat guy at all. Like, it's in his face, nothing. Like, it looks like almost a bulletproof vest underneath his shirt, which is hilarious. And you know that's going to be part of the kill, and it ends up being the case. The stoner couple's death, that was okay. One of them gets electrocuted downstairs in the basement when the fuse box is going off. The other one gets hit with a hot poker. You have Andy, who's walking around doing the handstand, and Jason just completely destroys him with the machete, which I thought that was pretty cool. Andy's girlfriend gets off while she's laying on the hammock. And I think the only other really great kill that we saw was Rick's. He goes outside to inspect what's going on, and he gets his head squished, and then you see his eye pop out in 3D. I thought that was pretty cool. The way he gets killed is pretty freaking brutal. And I already mentioned the biker gang and how they were unnecessarily thrown into this movie Two of them basically get killed with a pitchfork, which is kind of dumb. And then the lead biker, the black guy, gets his hand chopped off real quick and then dies immediately. Another great thing about why I like this movie so much is the 3D effects. This is the only Friday the 13th movie that they made that had the very cheesy 3D effects in it. They're so bad that I love them. But like I said, this is not the best Friday the 13th movie by far in any way, shape, or form, but I enjoyed this movie and I picked this one because when you're talking about this franchise, you gotta talk about The Mask. The Mask is what makes it what it is today, and this is the one that introduced it. It's a lot of fun, a lot of good kills, some stupidity thrown into this, which isn't all of them, but still a great ride and definitely one that you have to watch if you've never seen Friday the 13th at all. But let me know what you guys think about Friday the 13th Part 3. Is this one of your favorites? If you have a favorite, let me know what it is down in the comments, or top 3 even. I would love to hear what you guys think. Let me know if you have a favorite kill from this movie. Like I said, my favorite kill of all would probably be the head squish scene. I think that was pretty freaking brutal and just shows you the massive amount of strength from this disgusting looking freak that is running around. Thankfully, not with a sack on his head anymore.
I can't see fucking shit out of this thing.
But let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. I always love to hear your thoughts. If you liked the video, hit the like button. I would greatly appreciate it, and I'll catch you at the next review.